We're going to resume at 7:09 p.m. For those who are here, we opened the meeting at 6 p.m. because we had an early executive session. We've done the public notice and our roll call, et cetera. So at this point, I need a motion to open to, oh, actually, before I'll do that, we do have a few non-agenda items. Non-agenda should be before, okay? Those non-agenda items are an appointment to the Environmental Commission, permanent status on a DPW employee, an introduction by title of amending our LoSAP ordinance due to local finance notice, and also a resolution of the Borough of Bloomingdale authorizing the submission of an application to the local finance board related to our DEP loan funding, okay? We have to submit to local finance for reimbursement on that loan, so it's a resolution. So those 4 items: environmental appointment, an employee full-time status, and local finance resolution to the local finance board regarding the New Jersey Environmental Trust loan, and an introduction by title on a LoSAP ordinance amending per local finance. Okay, those are 4 non-agenda items. With that said, do I have a motion to open early public comment?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone wishing to speak to an agenda item, please come on up. Hi.
Linda Huntley, 86 Van Dam. The authorization for the contract for TG1 LLC, what renovations are being done?
We are renovating the Union Ave, 182 Union Ave,
I know, I saw the trucks.
to put, we're moving the construction office to that location because the construction office has outgrown the house next door. And the renovation is, sheetrock and flooring, and we're bumping out taking about half the back for conference room and additional storage for the construction office.
Was that discussed at a council meeting, having the construction office move there? I don't recall
I
seeing
believe
that.
we've talked about it numerous times. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we did. Yeah. I mean, I'm going from memory that I think we have. Yeah.
Okay, who owns TG1 LLC?
Robert Beek, I believe, is the owner, Bloomingdale resident.
And where's going into the construction office?
At this point in time, it'll be entirely emptied. All the storage will be moved to Union. So the Union, again, will be half construction. And most likely, the balance of the back warehouse we're going to make neat defined storage areas because finance, clerk's office, planning board, et cetera, we're always, as you know, tight for storage. At this point, I would, most likely, it'll become space for the police department. But that's up to the chief once it's empty, if he wants to move, detectives in there or whichever he chooses to do. So, not sure yet. Anyone else, please? Seeing no one, motion to close.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Reports from anyone. Jane, do you have anything for us? Any council member?
Yes, last night we had a discussion at one of our meetings over in the fire department, just under public safety, just to make the council aware, our SCBA air packs and bottles are going to pretty much expire in 2016. We have to start coming up with a replacement plan. The cost is high, it's expensive, so we just want everybody to be aware that we have to start making some decisions on how we're going to replace the air packs and the bottles.
What kind of number are we talking, do you know?
Somewhere in the range of over $300,000 to completely masks, bottles, harnesses. The harnesses that we have for the air packs have been upgraded twice. They can't be upgraded any longer. We've outused them. They're 20 years old. About 20 years old. The air bottles, there's approximately 30 bottles which we can no longer hydro test, and they will expire in 2016. We need to go out for their annual air test to make sure they can meet the requirements.
Okay.
So It's coming. They were replaced back, I believe, when Pete was chief, through a grant. The fire department is applying for another grant
Right.
to hopefully
Right.
help us out, but there's no, of course, there's no guarantees there.
Right.
So I just want everybody to be aware it's coming.
Okay. I know we applied for the grant. I mean, we could maybe look, we spoke to the county, OEM, any funding through any FEMA?
Reach out to anybody. Yeah.
Okay, so, we'll look at that. But no, we'll have to put it on the short list, and, you know, if the borough has that kind of obligation, obviously it would have to be capital
And I know
expenditures.
it's part of the chief's budget, so it's there. Just for everybody to be aware, it's definitely coming down the road pretty quick,
When does it expire again?
2016. But you probably would have to get them here in 2016, you probably got to order them in 50.
Okay.
Because you just not somebody just appear.
Okay, anyone else?
Yeah, the Bloomingdale, the Environmental Commission is exploring ideas about a possible municipal garden. They started doing that. I did and will recommend again them talking to Councilwoman Hudson about that, but they are exploring. They have spoken to other towns, and I just want to let everybody know that that's
Yeah.
going forth.
Yeah, at last year, Councilwoman Hudson was exploring locations and
Yeah.
got a fair amount of work done.
Yeah, we are still in process of,
Just a matter of
Talking about it.
finding a location.
it's not easy, just so everyone understands, it's not easy just picking out a parcel of land. It has to be the right parcel of land. Has
Yeah,
to
I think-
have-
I
Has
think-
to be accessible to water, has
Right.
to have, parking. There's many, many things that go into,
I think what they started on is just researching the ideas about how large the plots are gonna be and so forth. They have no idea
Right,
right
right.
now, so.
Matter of fact, the county has a grant, which we didn't,
Yeah.
we found out too late last year, but we can apply. I think it's an April or May deadline. It's small, it's like $1,500 to help you, do some
Yeah, I've seen that.
administrative, studies and things like that towards the community garden.
Mhm.
so. Okay, and also on the Environmental Commission, I think I spoke about it, and just to tell you where we're at, the Snake River Coalition had met in the end of last year, as far as deeding over Dragonfly Meadows to the borough, and obviously continuing as open space, and then the borough can make an investment in trails and passive recreation. It's a small lot, but it's a real pretty lot, and it's in Fred's office's hands now to speak with their attorneys and try to get that rolling. Fred's office got back to me last week that we should have something by next week on it.
Right.
So that's the update there. Anyone else? Fred, do you have anything for us?
No, Mayor, I mean, there's a full slate of things the administration has given us, and, we look forward to working on these things in the upcoming year. Yeah.
Okay.
But I would ask for executive session tonight on the Ehrenberg case. I know it's one thing you asked me to speak about, and it's, from the public's perspective, it's a matter that's been ongoing now for over a year. A majority of the case, what we believe, was dismissed, and the appellate division denied an application for immediate reversal, and we now continue to litigate some of the remaining aspects of the case, and I'd like to just update the governing body on that case.
Okay.
Thank you.
Very good. A couple of things on my end. First, we have gathered all our department budgets, and the auditors were in today and should be here for a week or a little more, but just to do year-end financial statements, to see where we stand, in fund balance, et cetera, and really get aggressive into the budget process. I've been attending as many as I can reorganization meetings of our boards and commissions, doing swearing in, and kicking off 2015 doing so. Economic development, which I want to resurrect, it's been on the books for a while, but really has been inactive, was to meet last night, but there was lack of a quorum with last-minute business trips and the like, so we're rescheduling till next Monday at 7 p.m., the 26th, and their meetings will be the third Monday of the month on economics. So once I set that up with, chairman, et cetera, then they can, give a good direction. I reached out to the county economic development, Deborah Hoffman from the county, and she's more than willing to step in and help us, get this committee to set their goals, set their action plan, and get the Economic Commission real active this year. One other item is, today I received a letter from Tilcon that they are interested in pursuing with the purchase of the Mere tract and would ask the borough, to consider discussions as the public knows, we last year in 13 got an acknowledgement, there's a non-binding resolution done that the town council would entertain and look at and explore the idea of Tilcon buying the Mere tract. And the first thing the town did was go to the Superior Court judge, because it is a court-ordered affordable housing site, and the judges rendered a decision that if such a deal enabled affordable housing, that he would allow it. And then we did a re-examination, and if the town was to proceed, it would be, a master plan amendment and zoning, but we're not there. But they have expressed they want to move forward. So what I'm going to do is request that Tilcon presents to the governing body. I will try for our next meeting, February 3rd, and I would see and on the 17th, so as much public can learn as we learn on what they want to do, and have them give a visual presentation on what their plans are, as far as if it's obviously if they want to buy it, it has to do with quarrying, where they want to quarry, what they want to quarry, so we can all learn the pros and cons and the benefits to the borough, and hear the public and hear from Tilcon, and we'll have multiple public input and presentations before the council or planning board considers going anywhere further on that. But that correspondence has just been received, and we'll go from there. So I'll advise the council if that will be the case on February 3rd, but I'm going to push hard that occurs before, so we and the public can all learn, and we'll invite the planning board as well to those meetings about what they're thinking about doing. Okay, so that's what I have. At this time, I need a motion to approve the consent agenda. Who makes that motion?
So moved?
Just a reminder, Jane sent the email, next meeting, the yearbook will be here to take photos, so come a little early at our next meeting at, say, 6:45. All in favor?
Aye.
Pending business. First item, I need a motion to appoint June Perales as an alternate to the Environmental Commissioner. I'm sorry? Oh, expiring 12/31/15. And who makes that motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Again, June had reached out to me. Jane had posted for me on our website a volunteer request and on Facebook, and the Trends actually reported on it, saying that the mayor just wants people to get involved, and I received an amazing response from that ad, and June was one of them who, anyone I spoke to, I met, we talked, and gave them their options, what boards are available, and this is a person who's lived here a number of years and just wants to get involved. So I'm glad to make that appointment, and thank you for the motion. And do you want to, all in favor, please?
Aye.
Item 2. I don't believe the first name is Jason. Bear with me. I could be wrong. Does it? John? Okay, I didn't think his first name was Jason. Next, I need a motion to appoint Jason Reynolds to the Board of Health, an alternate one, unexpired term. Again, another individual who reached out to our correspondence. This gentleman also is new to town, a volunteer fireman, and is a phys ed teacher who teaches health as well, so he's going to be a good fit. So can I have a motion, please? So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Item 3, this is an appointment of Officer Dan Greenwood as a Municipal Alliance member, term expiring, and Alex Wilson, also Municipal Alliance, both expiring 12/31/15. Excuse me, who makes that motion?
So moved. Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Item 4, I need a motion to remove June Colavita and Carrie Casino as members of the Municipal Alliance, who were appointed at our reorg meeting in ERA, and they will be coming off. So who makes that motion, please?
So moved. Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Next item, pending business. Discussion in regards to Passaic County Community Block Development Grant. I'd like to have a resolution authorizing the following. Our deadline's not till March 12th, but I do want to do this so our engineer has time to prepare the data. This is the grant where it's specific to certain neighborhoods. It's based on income requirements of neighborhoods and things, and the town did that study years ago, and the neighborhoods fall pretty much between Union and Reeve. And this is the grant where we did Henyon Street sidewalks. This is the grant where we just received $154,000 to do Ryerson sewer water laterals and the like. So I'd like to apply for sewer and water laterals for Reeve Ave from Oak to Main Street. The reason being, where it makes sense, is we applied to the DOT for the resurfacing of the balance of Reeve from Knowles to Main. So by the time these are usually awarded in the fall with our DOT award, it'll just mesh very well together. And while we're resurfacing the balance of Reeve, we will do the utility work at the same time. And it's very much needed in that area to do. So I'd ask someone to make a motion for resolution 2015 1.41, authorizing an application to the Community Block Development Grant Program for Reeve Ave from Oak to Main for underground utility work.
So moved.
Second?
Any further discussion? You want a roll call? Roll call, please.
Councilmembers Costa.
Yes.
Tomato.
Yes.
Delariva.
Yes.
Hudson.
Yes.
Sondemire.
Yes.
Yazdi.
Yes.
Okay. Moving along to new business, introduction of ordinance number 3, 2015. This is introduction by title to amend Chapter 92 zoning to delete the RMO zone and amend the zoning map and add rules for sites with drive-in locations. Simply what we're doing here, well, actually, let me get a motion for that introduction first.
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion? What we're doing here, from Union Ave to Van Dam on the non-river side, okay? The current zone is RMO, which is Senior Housing Office. It restricts the ability for businesses to add and grow because it's not a B1A zone, which would also allow habitational or office or habitational upstairs if we did a second floor habitational. So we're amending, we're deleting the RMO, because that was the only section in our zoning that had the RMO zone, which again was office and senior housing, to the business zone, so that it would open up more flexibility for businesses to grow on that portion of Main Street, because it doesn't have a B1 zone right now. So that's what we're doing, and we're introducing it by title, amending the zoning map to in accord with that. And our code has no provisions for drive-in windows, drive-up windows, and this defines some procedures and rules, which is pretty much going in front of the planning board when that occurs. So, any further discussion on that? And second and final reading?
That's what I need to know. I need to know. Do we notice people?
We have to.
But I don't think they're just
No.
We probably not even the second meeting, because you're gonna have to go to the planning board 35 on that. So why don't we do second and final for March 3rd?
That's good. That works.
So, we'll do this evening, we'll notice and send it to the planning board and go from there. Okay? Roll call, please.
Councilmembers Tomato.
Yes.
Delariva.
Yes.
Hudson.
Yes.
Sondemire.
Yes.
Yazdi.
Yes.
Costa.
Yes.
And that would be an ordinance of the Borough of Bloomingdale, County of Passaic, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 92 zoning of the Code of the Borough of Bloomingdale.
Okay, thank you. Next item, adoption of resolution 2015 1.42, authorizing contract for TG1 LLC for building renovations at 182, not 5, 2 Union Ave. Who makes that motion?
So moved.
And second.
Second?
Any discussion? Again, excuse me, for the record, we sought proposals, and we have proposals in excess of $47,000. This proposal was low quote at $35,000. It is absolutely a need in the borough. Well, we have a building for a number of years on the books that the borough purchased with the intent of a police station. I, for one, and I believe the governing body agrees, is that the police station should be in Borough Hall, and someday if we win the lottery, maybe we can expand that here someday. But In the meantime, our building department is busting the seams at the home here, the house here on our campus. And we will be moving the construction department to Union Ave. We hope to have this achieved by March, middle of March. And it'll give ample storage, ample room, ample parking for this office, who services multiple towns. And it'll leave us enough warehouse space in the back where I want to have our guys, our DPW, then define storage areas for additional storage, for finance, for planning board, for police, et cetera, because we are tight for storage. This is going to really achieve a lot of goals here. And as asked in public comment, what will happen to the house? Again, short term, my plan would be move the police department there because they need space too. But that'll be up to the chief and his plans, and then I'll report back to you when I know that is actually the goal. And if not, then we'll have a discussion. But okay, so any further discussion on that? And I need a roll call, please.
Councilmembers Delaware.
Yes.
Hudson.
Yes.
Sandemeyer.
Yes.
Yazdi.
Yes.
Costa.
Yes.
Tomato.
Thank you. Now I need a motion for resolution 2015 1.43. This is to authorize our annual shared service agreement with the Board of Education for landscape services, where they reimburse us $10,000 to cut the peripheral edges of the schools. We're there already cutting the fields under our lease agreement, and we're just adding cost to cover our cost of $10,000 to cut, again, the peripheral edges of Bergen School. There's really nothing at SRD and Martha B. size in front. Who makes that motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmembers Hudson.
Yes.
Sandemeyer.
Yes.
Yazdi.
Yes.
Costa.
Yes.
Tomato.
Yes.
Delaware.
Yes.
I need a motion to adopt Resolution 2015 1.44. This is authorizing our contract with Scott Holsizer, who is our tax expert in our appeal process. He's been there for a number of years serving the borough, and I need a motion to approve that contract.
So moved. Second.
Any further discussion? Just real quickly, because of the reval, we've seen higher appeals. I think we have 9 left for 2015. I don't foresee spending more than $8,000 to $9,000 in those appeal processes. If they don't go to court, and most do not, we settle. With Scott's help, and Fred gets involved as well. And then the good news is in 16 and so on, we should see a decline greatly in that appeal process. But Scott's been good to the borough and continuing those services. So
Has the contract changed at all, or is it the same?
no, it's the same hourly fees, just based on the hours and per case fee. No, we've averaged over the past few years, $6,000 to $7,000 on that expert testimony, which ends up paying for itself on keeping our appeals. I mean, if you look at the one which Fred was a big part of, but we had an appeal that was to be settled at a $60,000, got down to $24,000. So it's good having the professionals. But Fred was instrumental in that one as well. So anyone else? Roll call, please.
Councilmembers Sandemeyer.
Yes.
Yazdi.
Yes.
Costa.
Yes.
Tomato. Delaware.
Yes.
Hudson.
Yes.
Okay. Next item is an introduction of ordinance number 4, 2015, amending the fee ordinance for, I'm sorry?
E. Yeah. Rafkin Road.
Assessment.
I don't think there's action, but I'll go back to E. Discussion in regards to assessment procedure for Rafkin Road. I am waiting on final sign-off by our engineer on the Rafkin Road project. At that point, we will then have certified assessment fees from our engineer. We will notice the residents, have a public meeting and an assessment meeting to discuss it. I'm hoping to get this resolved by, second quarter billing on taxes, so we can get this in the works. But I apologize. There's no action to be taken tonight because we're waiting on certified numbers from the engineer. But so I'm hoping by next meeting, have these meetings in February and wrap this up by March. This assessment, Rafkin Road sidewalks. Rafkin Road sidewalks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's the actual assessment.
Okay, sorry about that. So off to F, introduction by title ordinance 4, 2015, amending the fee ordinance for police traffic control. Who makes that motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, just for the record. We are simply amending the administration fee. This is for when our police do subcontracted work for PSC&G, for contractors, et cetera, except for the county. The county has a specific contract with a dollar amount. But the PBA contract calls for $65 an hour is what they get, paid by the contractor. There's always been an administration fee, which was a dollar amount, $15 on the old rate, which resulted in a 25% administration fee. So we're simply amending it to state 25% administration fee on the hourly wage, so we don't have to change it again going forward. Even if the wage changes at a future contract date, it's always going to be a 25% administration fee to cover administrative services by the borough in those cases, but again, paid by subcontractors, utilities, et cetera. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmembers Yasti,
Yes.
Costa.
Yes.
Tomato.
Yes.
Delariva.
Yes.
Hudson.
Yes.
Sandemeyer.
Yes.
And that would be an ordinance of the Borough of Bloomingdale and the County of Passaic, State of New Jersey, to amend Chapter 2, Administration, Article 8, Policies and Procedures, Section 2-80, fees charged for municipal services of the Borough of Bloomingdale.
Yeah, that should be fine for the 3rd, yep. Thank you. 7 p.m. Okay, next, item G, I would like a motion to approve resolutions 2015 1.5 through 1.13, tax office resolutions as listed on the agenda.
1.45.
I'm sorry, 1.5 through 1. Oh, resolutions, I'm sorry. Let me count my ordinances. 45 through, 53. Who makes that motion, please?
So moved?
Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmembers Costa.
Yes.
Tomato.
Yes.
Delariva.
Yes.
Hudson.
Yes.
Sandemeyer.
Yes.
Yasti.
Yes.
Okay, item H, discussion regards to proposal from the Canning Group for a borough operation efficiency study. At the end of 2014, Councilman Yazdi had brought up the idea of having a third party do an analysis on departments and from efficiency, staffing, production, how they operate, et cetera. And, with our attorney's assistance, we sought some proposals, and the Canning Group submitted a full town-wide department-by-department analysis in the amount of $8,500. So if the council wishes to proceed, I would need a motion if that's the pleasure of the council.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any further discussion? Resolution 5, I'm sorry,
5-4.
I keep counting ordinances. Yes, 2015 1.54. Roll call, please.
Councilmembers Tomato.
Yes.
Delariva.
Yes.
Hudson.
Yes.
Sandemeyer.
Yes.
Yasti.
Yes.
Costa.
Yes.
Okay, item I, resolution 2015 1.55, transfer resolution. Who makes that motion, please?
So moved?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmembers Delariva.
Yes.
Hudson.
Yes.
Sandemeyer.
Yes.
Yasti.
Yes.
Costa.
Yes.
Tomato.
Item J, resolution 2015 1.56, payment of the bills. Who makes that motion?
So moved?
Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, just one question on the bills, not that this question about a bill. We just have, it just seems to me we have an employee going out and buying, it's under office supplies, whatever he's buying with his own personal money. I think that should happen.
It's rare.
If he needs to do it, it should be his boss.
It's rare that occurs. My only summation on that, it was when you could not issue POs to go to Staples or whomever, and the need was there, because there was a window of 3 weeks where you couldn't issue a PO until the system was rolled.
I understand that, but an employee shouldn't be going to Staples to buy paper.
I don't know what their product
I
was.
don't know what it is.
I don't know
It
what.
doesn't list it, but I just think somebody laying money out of their personal pocket.
Yeah, again, it doesn't happen often. I verified the bill. I don't know what you're talking about, whether it was an ink cartridge. Do you know what department it was?
$134.
Do you know what department it was?
Water fund.
Water department? All right. Do you know what the material was off the top of your
It
head?
says office supplies. I don't
All right, I'll confirm it tomorrow. But again, it's rare. It's justified. It comes from the department head, not the employee on the submission of reimbursement. So
know. No, I understand,
Okay,
that, but if he needs something, his boss should be going to get it and put on his credit card.
Right.
It's just not good for an employee to be laying money out of their own personal fund.
Again, it's not often, and I don't disagree with you. Any other comments? Roll call, please.
Councilmembers Hudson,
Yes.
Sondemire,
Yes.
Yazdi,
Yes.
Costa,
Yes.
Tomato,
Yes.
Delariva.
Yes.
Need a motion to open late public comment?
So moved.
Oh, I'm sorry, wait, before we do that, I had some non-agenda items. My bad.
Retract.
Retract that. First non-agenda item, I need a motion to appoint Krista Venturella to the Environmental Commission, alternate seat. Expiration, yes, 12/31/16. Who makes that motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Other than, again, Krista responding to the marketing on volunteers and looking for people to get involved, and so we welcome her and thank her for service to the borough. Roll call, please. Actually, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Next item was a motion to make Paul Halkias a permanent employee. Received rave reviews from the department superintendent. And yeah, Paul is working out really well in his position and achieved all the requirements in his first year as well. So who makes that motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion?
Just a comment or a suggestion. Paul's the guy that takes care of the fields. He does a great job. I mean, he does an outstanding job with that. They look terrific, and it's great that he's doing it in-house.
Yeah.
Bang up job.
Yep, quite a savings. So, thank you, yes. You want a roll call on that? Roll call on that, please.
Councilmember Sondemire,
Yes.
Yazdi,
Yes.
Costa.
Yes.
Tomato.
Yes.
Delariva.
Yes.
Hudson.
Yes.
The third item was a motion for resolution 1.57, resolution of the Borough of Bloomingdale authorizing the submission of an application to the local finance board, again, as it relates to the NJEIT, which is New Jersey Environmental Infrastructure Trust, for the financing of the proposed bonds we've done on the water line replacement. Who makes that motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmembers Yazdi,
Yes.
Costa.
Yes.
Tomato.
Yes.
Delariva.
Yes.
Hudson.
Yes.
Sondemire.
Yes.
Thank you. And the final non-agenda item was the introduction by title of ordinance 5, 2015, which is amending our LoSAP ordinance to comply with new local finance requirements. There's a few changes. Newly established LoSAPs have a minimum benefit of $100, maximum contribution of $11.50, increasing base contribution amounts, periodic and annual cost of living adjustments. Again, all handed down by the state. So we are simply going to amend our ordinance as such for 2015. And who makes that motion, please?
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Second and final on the 3rd at 7 p.m. You want a roll call on that? Roll call? Money? Roll call, please.
Councilmembers Costa.
Yes.
Tomato.
Yes.
Delariva.
Yes.
Hudson.
Yes.
Sondemire.
Yes.
Yazdi.
Simply an ordinance to amend LoSAP. What the engineers put title.
Ordinance to
Yeah, an ordinance to amend LoSAP in 2015 based on local finance notice. Fred, that's sufficient?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Now, I need a motion to open to late public comment.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone wishing to speak, please come on up, state your name and address for the record.
Linda Huntley, 86 Van Dam. Could you just clarify the resolution, I guess for the RMO zone?
RMO zone, right, from Union Ave to Van Dam. That's the side where the vacant Bank of America building is, and,
Is this only on Main Street, or is this the entire area?
no,
of Union?
everything else is already a B1A zone. Okay, everything else is a B1A. Riverside, the side on the river is a B1, right. The side,
Main Street?
yeah, Main Street, right. The side, non-Riverside, and I'm pointing to Mr. Graff because he's on the ordinance review, from Luke Oil up is B1A, or B, right. So we're just making it uniform now, because it was an RMO zone from Union to Van Dam on that side, which was senior housing office. So we're changing it to B1A, which still,
Only on Main Street.
only on Main Street. Yeah, right, yeah,
Okay, thank you.
thank you. Anyone else? Seeing no one, motion to close?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
We do have a late executive session. We have one matter personnel, 2 matters litigation, 1 matter negotiation. If action is to be taken, which I don't believe there will, but if there is, public will have the opportunity to speak. So with that said, I'd like to go into executive at 7:45. Who makes that motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We'll take a 5-minute recess.